Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have another Mini Cooper ECM or DME, right? This is coming from Georgia, Jose Flores. This is your computer. This computer was sent because they have a no start condition on the vehicle after the dreaded part that, the ground on the back cover on the back, it was left loose and then damaged the computer. This is very common. I think this is a flaw on engineering design because it's happening so many times. I have recommended in multiple videos relocate, elongate the wire and put that ground into the cylinder head. Yes, it has to be in the cylinder head, but in a bolt that you will never remove unless you need to remove that bolt for that's it. No for the valve cover, no for an intake manifold, no for nothing else. So make sure that you find a bolt or a place that you can screw that ground that is attached to the cylinder head that is not on the valve cover. The reason why, because the valve cover is a very common part that you're going to be removing. That ground is actually specifically for the ignition coils. If you let that ground loose or remove and you crank the car, now the coils will ground through the computer and it will damage the computer. And yes, I can repair it, but I'm trying to help customers and people around the world and around the United States that are seeing this. So in his case, we'll see, we have the focus right there. The computer is communicating, but we are going to see discrepancies there. Why is the focus in there and why the card is not starting? All right, so first of all, I'm in one of the 5-volt reference and we're seeing almost 6 volts. A 5-volt reference should never go higher than 5 volts. That means the voltage regulator took a hit and is damaged. And that's why it's not starting. Also, if you see these fault codes, the 2B D4 or the 2B D3, don't even try to do anything else. Just take the computer and send it to me. Another thing that I recommend because Jose Flores, they contact me. They had already the computer open up. I am very hesitant in receiving computers that have been opened up because usually when they open it up, they bend the board, they damage components that I cannot see because I don't have an X-ray to go through your board. If you flex this board and you crack the pads, because these are no wires in between the components, right? So it's a printed board. It's just a layers of copper, a layers of pad that if you know bend the board too much, you will crack those, and it's impossible for me to see it. Is that in my problem? No, you're the one opening the computer. So I'm always trying to address that. I don't I don't see nothing major in here, so I'm okay with it. But I'm always very hesitant, and I tell my customers, please do not open the computers. You will not be able to see or repair anything. So just send it over straight to me, and I will fix it. All right, but yeah, going in here, we have this immediately, and as you can see, it's current. Current. Fuel pressure sensor is obviously going to be current because it's not connected. So the rest of the fault codes, I can really disregard because it's normal. This is concerning 2BD0, but it's also part of that regulator part. Is more damage. So this went through the actual regulator because you see the watchdog output. This is very problematic because this is an output that goes over to the microprocessor. Luckily, and I think we're still on the good side, because I can talk. If I would have had this fault code or in the car and then I connected in here and the computer is not communicating, I would probably say you have a bad microprocessor. So I'm going to try to perform the repairs that I do usually on these computers and retest, reset the fault codes and make sure everything is good and that we can see also that firewall reference coming into a normal range. I'm going to put them in here because sometimes the camera doesn't pick up depending on the angle, but we got 5.747 volts. So definitely not right, right? Okay, so that's all I need to share. I can share the BIN number in here. The last digits are TL83344. I actually even pull that information on air. And yes, that is the correct BIN number from an R56 N14 engine from 2007. And it tells me that the car is a mellow yellow color. No picture of the color. I don't know why. And it's from 10 2007. All right, guys, that's as much as I want to share. Everything else is, as you can see here, but I'm going to, again, try to get the repairs done, and I'm going to probably make this a one video again because it's a short test before and after repairs. Hopefully everything goes well. I'll see you soon. All right, guys, I finished the repairs, and Jose Flores from Georgia as a DME. This is an N14 R56. I don't know if I mentioned that on the first part, on the beginning of the video. All right, so repairs are done. I have not done anything, I mean, not erased the codes, no nothing. So let's do this together. I'm trying to uh, be as crystal or as honest as possible. Let's say, I always try to keep it as simple as possible for everybody to see it in the beginning. And if it's something that needs to be corrected, I like to do that because I think sometimes cutting information on even a fault that happens after I do a repair is no good because then I showing that everything is perfect all the time. And I want to show that yes, sometimes I made errors. I'm a human, but I correct it and I try to over stress my repair so when the computer goes back to the customer, it's done. Again, I can make mistakes, and that has happened a few times. I'm not perfect, right? So that's what I'm trying to show here. All right, but let's see. All right, I got the power supply ready, and the scanner is ready to be connected. Let's power this up. I didn't move the fiber reference to where we are, and this is a perfect sign right now. This is a very good sign because remember we got almost 6 volts before, and now we got 5 volts, and this is in 5 volt 2. Let's take a look at 5 volt 1. Yeah, we got exactly the same voltage. You see, that's very, very important. Okay, so that is immediately for me, that's a good sign. I also need to mention that I have a 120 ohm resistor, sorry, I have 60 ohm resistor in between can high and can low in order to communicate with, because DMEs on these Mini Coopers don't have that built in. All right, TL83344, excellent. We did have communication at the beginning. I was able to establish communication, but the voltage for the fiber reference was out of range. So that's why the car didn't start. Right in here, since I'm using top down, not a icon for Mini Cooper or BMWs, and I have to, and I don't have the entire vehicle, obviously too. I need to uh, go into this is the manufacturer side, and I hope this is a terminology that we all need to be learning. Is when people talks about manufacturer side on a even on a aftermarket scanner, that means this is like the specific for Mini Cooper. You can go into OBD2, right? OBD2 is for emissions only, so you will be only seeing the stuff for emissions and there misfires. And yes, you can see all the data piece for the computers, but that is only for emissions. So when you have a problem on a car and you are in the manufacturer side, I would recommend to go, especially if when you have an implausible signal, let's say a wrong reading or something like that, will always, I recommend, or I will recommend to go over to the OBD side because in the emission side, by regulation in the United States, the manufacturer cannot change that data. On this on the manufacturer side, again, aftermarket or even original BMW, right? Mini Cooper, if you connect ESTA, they can substitute a value in order for the computer because that's what the computer is doing, right? Trying to substitute a value so the car keeps going well. But that value on OVD2 will not be changed. So if a sensor is reading wrong, that reading will be always be wrong for you to see it. The computer can be do something else again to try to keep the car running well, but that sensor reading will be shown bad in there if that is the issue. All right, so okay, manual select. Now again on the manufacturer side, we're going to go into manual select because we don't have the entire car here. And we're going to select into R56 drive. That's engine, transmission, and everything we have here. So this is the drivetrain, including the cast, the selector lever, transfer case, and the fuel pump, transmission and DME, right? So we're going to select the DME. All right, so again, this is just to show, programming date. It looks like this computer has never been updated. 31/2007, and that's it, right? It was manufactured in November 2006, and that's it. All right, so let me go over to, let's read the fault codes, and this is immediately fix 100%. You see, without erasing anything, which is this is very important. Remember that DBD4, sorry, 2BD4 was current. It's in history. DVD3 history. I don't need to erase the codes. This is done. Let's go on the watchdog. Excellent. This is very happy. Jose, your computer is 100% fixed. Look at the DME, the DB, sorry, the 2BDO. Remember the watchdog that I refer at the beginning of the video is gone. I told Jose when he told me about what's happening with his car, is like, don't even waste more of your time. Just send me the computer. I am 100% confident that your problem is in the computer. Jose, as you can see, I was running the money and your computer is ready. I just needed to put it back together, seal it up, and I will contact you to collect payment and send this your way as soon as possible. All right, guys, thank you so much for visiting the channel. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Bye bye.